We're gonna review. Let me make sure. Yeah, we're gonna review 58. It was probably 40 minutes. First trade is 23 absorbed at 79.50, right below a ledge or a thicker part on the profile, but mainly the 23 absorbed and the fact that we sat on the bid after it showed up, and even better, a 2 prints at 75, which makes me believe that this trade is going to work. Then we see a counter rotation as the 12 pulls, most likely at 79, goes to 8, 11, and then 16 trades. $78.50. $12.49, kind of a lousy fill and a poor area to trade. I hope this thing goes against me. It did. I scratched it there when I realized how poor it was. There really wasn't anything on the inside prints. The 13 at VPOC is why I got long. I'm looking to get out for 2 ticks. It only gave me one at 78.75, and so I get out for break even, which I agree with, especially because it was at VPOC. This I got in because of 17 and 12. I should have scratched when it went against me 3 ticks. Instead, I held the distribution. We pushed it all the way up, and then I got out there, which was a poor exit. I should have let the trade run. 78.25 with 78 evens. Why did I get in this? Was it accumulating low side? Yeah, it was. That's why I got in. I was expecting a reversion. Didn't happen. Tape moved in the opposite direction. $78.25, 11. See the 11, how it trades? It's 78 and they can't hit it up. That's even better. I get out there because they don't fill me at 77, and then buyers step in and begin to push it through the low volume node aggressively. I can't get a fill, so I'm evidently chasing it. We cross into this distribution now, and 77 would be the place to trade. I have a really good trade at low of day and a couple bad ones. I literally close my eyes here and open them, and it goes against me in this trade. The ask simply pulls when we get down to 76. See the 19 that trades at 76? The thickening of the queue, the bid mainly 20 at 76. The fact that we didn't move lower on the 19, 25, and then boom, I blink, and price goes against me. Now I notice we get down to 29. We get down to 74. There's an initial plunge in liquidation from sellers. Notice the 40. We begin to move off of it. Typically what happens is price will rally in the opposite direction all the way back up to VPOC, but this time we sat at 74. I think this was the initial losing trade. Yeah, I dragged it down. I realistically should have scratched earlier or held it rather than taking the larger part of the distribution. And the second part of the trade is noticing that it sat there at 74 and it couldn't get above 75. That's weakness, and that sellers were clearly there. So I put one short on. Then I noticed we couldn't get above 75, so I began to build a position. And I had the two limit orders at 75.50. I mean 74. I built a position at 74, 75, and then 75.50 and 75, 75. I had those two limit orders because typically I will get in too early, price will go against me, and then I'll start scrambling. So that's why those orders were there. Okay, now down to the initial liquidation. So I was correct, but notice how only a 15 prints at 73.50, and then we sit there. I thought it would give me at least 3 ticks, and it didn't, and then we begin to back tick. Here, I know what's going on, so that I misjudged the ending part of the move, and so I misjudged the ending part of the move, which is bad. That's why I scratched. And to confirm that, notice how the Q has no. Notice how the bid ask has no orders on the prints, and the Q is moving up by itself after we liquidated at 73.50. So those orders were taken out of the market. Those people were liquidated, and now there's upside. I view it as more of like a liquidity vacuum simply because I don't understand the mechanism very well. The less participants in a market there are, the easier it is for it to move. Why do we move in the opposite direction when people get liquidated? Maybe because the nature of a market is reversion. And then I thought I got out here, but I fat fingered. So realistically, I should have taken both contracts off at around 73, 75, and then I get out there. So I poorly managed one. And notice how we rally back to VPOC off of the low of day. We blow out these orders. I try to bid the 334 at 81. I go short, and I immediately notice the 337 at 81 with the 14 trading. Okay, that's horrible news. It's time to get out. And then it spoofs. So the thing that has been sitting there all night disappears like that. And obviously, I'm caught offside now, and the market is going to move lower because it was looking for that order, which is what it does. And that's just me chasing the move down after seeing the spoof and not getting a fill, which is appropriate. Getting in through limits is really the only way to trade. This is a standard reversion play. I get out for break even. After missing a two tick move, I thought it was going to traverse to the other side of the balance area. This is a breakout play that I get caught offside on. 11 at 80.25, and that the seller is rewarded there, and price is moving lower now, and then a 17 prints there. 11 trades and we move up, but I'm fighting against price action here. Okay, that's it.